You're listening to EPN, the E-Podcast Network.
This is Eric Dyer, and once again, welcome to Enterprise Radio, your EPN channel for exclusive interviews with entrepreneurs, small business owners, and some of the world's top executives who are having great success. Today, we are joined by both Jennifer Dyer and Kiaran Sim, co-founders of Yappa, that offers a cutting-edge audio and video social commenting tool for the world. Yappa enables people to connect in ways that text-based comments cannot deliver, whilst increasing rich media engagement. Certainly appreciate Jennifer and Kiaran joining us here today on Enterprise Radio.
Hey, Eric. How you doing? Thank you for having us.
Hey, we're doing great over here and really appreciate the both of you taking the time to be with us here today. So, Jennifer, if you would, and for starters, tell us about Yappa.
Absolutely. Yappa is basically, Eric, an audio and video commenting tool that allows publishers to engage, just as you said in your introduction, with their followers and audience in ways that text-based comments can't deliver. So we know that the commenting sections on websites over the years have just not been innovated. It has always been text-based. With Yappa, you're allowed, basically, it gives you the opportunity to communicate with each other using your voice and in video. You can connect, which provides a lot greater authenticity. It allows you to bring that life to your brand, and it's also creating these little micro social communities on people's websites, which is absolutely fantastic. People are doing what we're actually doing now. You're able to hear the inflections in people's voices and just get that real authentic connectivity, and it's proving to be such a great way to build community. So we're really excited about Yappa.
And I'd say that's a pretty awesome tool. Tell us, Kiaran, how did the company begin?
Well, the company, we actually started conceptualizing Yappa back in the latter part of 2015. Both myself and Jennifer, we've worked together for over 10 years now. This is now our third venture. And when we saw a gap in the market where commenting online has become so toxic, Eric, and there's definitely room for innovation to help us really make the internet a better place to communicate with one another. So we started back in 2015, where we conceptualized, and Yappa actually began as an app on the App Store, and we got a lot of learnings from our users through that experience, and out of that we pivoted to the product that you're seeing today, which is the widget that you can install on any website. So yeah, back to the question. 2015 was when we started Yappa.
And thanks for sharing some of that background. If you would, tell us what kinds of problems is Yappa helping solve in online conversations?
I think there's a number of problems Yappa is helping to solve. The first one is civility, bringing back, the web is so quiet. There's so many people that congregate on the web. There's so much activity, yet it's silent, because for decades it has just been a text-based exchange. So I think some of the problems that we are solving is bringing that voice, bringing personality, bringing that responsibility. There's something about not trolling or bullying or using, profanity or just language that's not acceptable when you have your voice to it. You're owning that. So there seems to be a greater sense of responsibility there. And we also think we're solving the problem of allowing publishers who for years, we loved Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, but for years now, most brands have had to congregate on those third-party platforms to get those interactions and to get that engagement. Well, Yappa again is solving, I don't know whether or not it's a problem, but it's certainly an advantage by allowing you to create that same social experience, but right on your own platform.
It's absolutely fabulous. Today we're joined by both Jennifer Dyer and Kiaran Sim, co-founders of Yappa, that offers a cutting-edge audio and video social commenting tool for the world here on Enterprise Radio, a part of EPN, the Enterprise Podcast Network. Now, continuing on, tell us what makes Yappa different from other forms of online commentary in the market.
That's a great question, Eric. Well, firstly, what we do here at Yappa is we encourage organic conversations. And what makes us different, what sets us apart, is in fact the way that we deliver content. So we don't use text in any part of our platform whatsoever. If you'd like to contribute to the conversation, you are gonna be uploading a 45-second audio or video comment that actually connects us to one another in a new way. Just like Jennifer said, how many times have we all received a text message or we read something and we misinterpret the person's intentions because there's no emotional depth to text. You can only perceive the text in your own way, and that may not be in the way that it was intended to be perceived. So with Yappa, you're never going to get misunderstood. You're always going to get your point across, and you're always going to be effective in the way that you communicate. What we're seeing with Yappa so far, with the community that we've built, is that we're receiving a 0.25% slag rate on our comments in general. And the average for the industry amongst text-based commentators is 15%. So that's an incredible decrease in the amount of comments that are perceived to be unacceptable or offensive to one another. So really what sets Yappa apart is we encourage constructive conversation, whether it's about politics, sports, entertainment, whatever your passion is. We feel that Yappa is an environment where everybody's welcome and everybody can actually contribute to the conversation without feeling like you're going to be marginalized or you're going to be bullied or trolled or you're going to experience some type of hate speech against you. Any of those things, the comments and the community that we've built, we garner constructive conversation, and that's what sets us apart.
I think if I can add to that, what also sets us apart is that we offer an audio and video solution. We're moving with the times. I mean, technology is moving to voice. It's moving far more into these little tiny video bites. Also with Yappa, Eric, and may I add that the other difference is it's the first time that you can actually share comments. To date, comments cannot be shared. So when you use the Yappa tool, you're able to share your comments on other third-party platforms, which again just creates the opportunity to invite that wider community to come back to your website to engage in a conversation.
I'd say it makes a lot of sense, and you're certainly and clearly setting yourselves apart in the space. Now, lastly, how can Yappa benefit users and media outlets?
Oh my goodness, Yappa can benefit media and different outlets, just because, number one, you're creating a more authentic way to communicate your brand. Your brand now has life. So for many bloggers, we're seeing that these bloggers are actually engaging, using their voice and video to enlighten and explain and invite their audience to communicate with them. You also have the opportunity to build brand loyalty, because again, when you bring the type of life that Yappa brings in terms of allowing for there to be some substance and some value in terms of the way you're communicating with your audience, it's giving you the opportunity to build that brand loyalty. Fans and audiences and followers that invest in people's brands, they want to, it's just nice to know that they're there and they're communicating back. So I think those advantages are definitely very distinct. Also, Yappa is not just for bloggers and or web publishers. There are other verticals that Yappa is moving into, such as reviews. The reviews, as we know, across the years, drives purchasing. It's incredible. And again, it's all been text-based. Well, it's just been really wonderful to watch Yappa envision as people are reviewing things. There seems to be that much more authenticity around that. And then, of course, you've got customer support. In those areas where sometimes you get that little avatar that comes up and, again, you're engaging with somebody via text, Yappa has stepped into that place to offer, again, that more authentic way to communicate, that there actually is somebody there and it's not just a robot, as we also always have to tick nowadays. So we're really, really excited about seeing the various different verticals that Yappa is moving into. Also podcasts. Let's not forget the podcast industry. Eric, as you well know, as a podcaster so successfully for years, how do you engage with your audience? Do they send you texts or do they send emails? Again, Yappa is bridging that gap where your audience are able to post questions and you're able to integrate those questions into your podcast. So, and that goes for radio as well as and also television. So we're excited about the future of Yappa.
And with great reason to be excited, no doubt, and really appreciate this awesome resource that can bridge the gap, as you put it, in our commentary within media outlets online. If listeners wanted to get more information on Yappa, where's the best place they could not only get more information, but take advantage of this great offering?
Sure. You can go directly to our website, which is yappaapp.com. That's YAPPAAPP.com. You can also find our widget directly through their WordPress store. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can find us, our handle is Yappa HQ on all social networks.
And that certainly works. Again, Jennifer and Kiaran, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us here today on Enterprise Radio. Certainly was our pleasure, and all the best.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank
Pleasure.
you, and to your audience. Thank you very much indeed for having us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And you're both more than welcome. We've been speaking with both Jennifer Dyer and Kiaran Sim, co-founders of Yappa, that offers a cutting-edge audio and video social commenting tool for the world. Yappa enables people to connect in ways that text-based comments cannot deliver, whilst increasing rich media engagement. And for further details, simply visit yappaapp.com. And this is Eric Dye, and you've been listening to Enterprise Radio, a part of EPN, the Enterprise Podcast Network. Tune in to our live location as we are streaming live 24/7 around the world at epodcastnetwork.com/live. You can also find our live stream on iTunes Radio and TuneIn Radio, as well as the TuneIn Radio app for your listening convenience. And as always, we thank you for your support and for tuning in.
This is the ePodcast Network.